This is an R tutorial. Got 2 minutes? Learn some statistical programming in R. How to prevent R from breaking when it hits an error with the try function. Try is a wrapper to run an expression that might fail and allow the user's code to handle error recovery. What? Was that too complicated? Have a listen. If I type 1 plus 1 into R, it will return true. If I type blah 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 into R, it will return an error. This is the try function. It tries to do something. If I type try 1 plus 1, R tries to return 1 plus 1, and it does. If I type try blah blah blah, R still returns an error. Scratching your head yet? You may need a helmet for what's going to happen next. If I type try blah blah blah, comma, silent equals true, R does not return an error. R tried to do blah 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 blah, but it gave an error, so it moved on to the next line without a whimper. It didn't stop running other code because I told R to keep silent. The try function isn't useful if you're typing all of your commands directly into the console, but if you're running a big loop that you don't want to stop if it hits an error, the try function is a lifesaver. If you have trouble with this next section, watch the tutorial, How to Build a For Loop in R. I'm going to set my working directory, and I'm going to loop through the directory here, which has got 3 files. Example 1, example 2, and example 4.csv, but not example 3. I'm going to still loop through all of them, and here they come. All right, well, it tried to read in example 1, printed the number of rows. It did. Example 2 printed the number of rows. It did. It hit the third one, and the third one doesn't exist, so it hit an error and stopped. Now, if I encapsulate all of this in the try function, see this? Here's where the commands start, and here where they end. Comma, silent equals true, all of this inside of the try function. Well, it hit the third one, hit an error, and stopped, but moved on to the fourth one. The fourth one has six records in it, so it kept going. Perfect! You can store the results of a try function call into another variable, and then test, like this, the class of that new variable as a try error. If it returns true, then you can put that into a logical test like this and do something else once the try error occurs. Warning, using the try function is the programming equivalent of what doctors call analgesics. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Errors occur for a reason. Only use this on lines of code that you're sure you want to ignore. That was pretty painless. This has been a work of R.